Alright, hello fun and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the AnotherOne YK42B Reborn mod, which is being made by user Glorious Warrior. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the YK42B Pulse Rifle as seen in Fallout 2. And I love this weapon. It was one of my favorite guns in Fallout 2, so I absolutely love seeing this here in the Commonwealth, and of course in a new fully realized 3D style. Very nice. Let's jump on over here and have a look at what we do exactly get with the YK42B, which in its most standard configuration will deal 30 electric damage with a fusion cell with a firing rate of 50, range of 203, accuracy of 76 for a weight of 9.6. And I mean, come on, as you can see here, this thing is beautiful. I love the modeling and texturing on this thing. There is loads of great details in it, from, you know, the Yuma flats right there to the nice switches with like standby on it written and everything. Very, very cool indeed. It looks perfect from, you know, a reimagined point from the, you know, sprites we had back in Fallout 2 to this. It is just magnificent. Very well made. And to top it all off, it's got a pretty decent supply of different modifications to help up this damage and change it up a little bit for your personal usage to make it a bit more useful into the later game. Now, with its damage and its mods, this thing is never really going to be cranking out a huge amount of damage at the base level. You're really going to need a lot of perks to really get the full advantage of this thing into the later game, but still a pretty good selection of stuff here to change it to how you want. So let's talk first, before we do look at those modifications, on how to get your hands on one of these guns. Well, if you want this many, you're gonna have to cheat, because there is only one singular YK42B in the game. In fact, it's that one right there. That's the one I found in the world earlier. And specifically, you're going to find this thing over in the glowing sea at the abandoned shack, or even more specifically, down in the bunker under it at the bottom level by the power armor. That is where you'll pick up one of these lovely guns, or, well, the only gun. And the reasoning for that is, as the mod maker stated in some of the comments, that, well, this was meant as a rare gun in Fallout 2, so they didn't want to add it into the leveled loot list to just have it showing up on random people or merchants. There's one gun, you're gonna have to go grab it. So let's take a look at what, once you do have the weapon, you can do with it. So let's head to the weapon workbench here and start with the coil category, where this is where you're going to be really doing most of the damage upgrades here, where you've got things like standard coils, tuned resistors, modulated feeders, on up to the most powerful jury-rigged electro laser, which will bump up the damage to a mere 40 there, and will require quite a lot in gun nut and science to not just do this, but a lot of the other modifications here. Those are going to be the two you're gonna need perk-wise. Then in the barrel category, we have the standard barrel, a short barrel, and a heavy barrel if you're really wanting to go for long-range shots. Though, interestingly, for a barrel that you'd think would be for sniping, it also lowers the accuracy, but hey, alright, trade-off, I guess. And then we have the grip category, where we've either got the pistol grip or a standard stock there, which is, you know, just a nice little bar fitted around the thing. Then we have the capacitor category, and this is what's going to help increase the amount of ammunition you have on this thing, from the standard to extended to the advanced. And that's actually going to change up those coils right there on the side of the gun. You notice on the standard, it's just like one little circle. The extended, yeah, I got 2, and then the advanced, you're all the way up to 3 there. Very cool. It also does make the gun a lot bulkier, but hey, fun times. And then in the science category, oh my, I love it. We have a lovely selection of various scopes to fit really whatever you're really trying to go for. Here's the thing though, from an aesthetic point of view, for me personally, I don't really care for a lot of these because they're modern looking. But thankfully, the mod makers got us covered, because down at the bottom, we've got the YK42B Reflex long sight and a just regular reflex sight. And these things, they look the part. They look like they were perfectly fitted on just for this gun, and I love it. So if you like those sorts of modern sights, go for it, have at it, enjoy yourself. You've got plenty of options here. But if, like me, you prefer aesthetic over usability, then you have two great options here to kind of give you both. And that is great. Now then we have the mode selection here, where either there's the pulse mode, which is semi-automatic fire, or the auto charger, which is for fully automatic fire, and of course will lower down your damage there. We then do have, after that mode, the damage modifier category, going from a 0 damage modification all the way up to plus 90. Now, you guys know my usual spiel on this. If it had requirements, I would like it, but since it doesn't, I kind of think it's cheaty, but hey, you do you. Enjoy whatever you want to do with your modded weapon. And then after that, we have the reloader category, and this is the final one, where you have either the manual reload or the automatic battery socket, which changes up the reload animation and may potentially make it slightly quicker. I haven't like properly gotten a stopwatch out to time it, but they seem kind of close to me. But it is a much more interesting and cool looking animation for the gun. But yeah, just a nice little thing there if you want just perfectly hand reloading, or for this thing to basically like chuck the fusion cell out of the gun. It's interesting. I've got guns made with both of them, so I'll show off of those here in a little bit. Well, yeah, that is it for all the modifications, so let's go grab our other modified versions we do have, and then do some shooting. Good times, good times. So let's head on over to the range and, yeah, take some shots. And there we go, a good whooshing sort of sound for this weapon. Though, usability-wise, the iron sights on this thing are a little bit awkward, I gotta admit. But frankly, I tend to not really like iron sights in general, but they're a lot more understandable on this gun because, I mean, look at where they are. You kind of got to deal with that giant coil on there, so it makes sense that it's going to be a little bit weird and wonky with iron sights. The slightly oddest thing about it is where you actually have to aim. You'd kind of think it'd be at the bar at the bottom or somewhere in the middle, but it's actually along the top of the ball there that's sort of been, you know, cut into. So, like, if I want to hit, like, dead on there, I mean, yeah, that's where we're aiming, is up at, like, the top of the balls. A very weird place to aim, but you know what? There you go. But hey, that's why you got all of those wonderful other sight options. So let's take a look at two of those. Of course, my favorite ones, the ones that look like they fit. I mean, come on, look at that sight. This is the long sight there with a 1.5x zoom. And yeah, it looks like it fits on the gun. And of course, helps you fire quite nicely at sort of a mid-range sniping weapon. Very cool there. You can also tell, though, between the first gun I shot and this one, how much wider the gun is, because this is on the maximum capacitor with those 3 sort of coils there. And if I switch back real quick to the standard gun, whoops, I did not. There we go. Yeah, you've only got the 1 coil there. Still wide, but not quite so wide. And if we go back to this one, oh yeah. Look at how much wider that is. I love it, though. I love it, though. It's that retro future style that I really loved about the energy weapons in Fallout 1 and 2. Very cool. And then finally, I've got the automatic one here, which actually, just kind of looking at the damage again here, the semi-automatic one with the damage modifier, the highest I was able to get the damage up to was that 67. Again, without any perks, just base level. And with the fully automatic one, that's just up to 56, so not too much difference there, only 11 points less, which for going from semi-automatic to fully automatic is actually surprising. I would have thought it'd be less than that. But let's take a look at how this thing goes, and of course we do have that reflex sight on there. Again, it looks the part for this gun, and fire. There we are. Wonderful. And now that we've seen the scope there and the firing of the automatic, pay attention to the reload animation. Once we get rid of all of our shots there, it pops the fusion cell out on its own. We still have to manually load in our own new one, but the actual ejection, it just sort of pops the thing right out. Now, if we go back to just the standard one or the sniping one, both have the manual reload. And if we go through all these shots, you actually have to, on the animation, physically take out the round and reload it. Now, again, I haven't actually timed this, so I don't know if the auto-eject one is faster. They seem comparable to me, but I don't know, maybe it's ever so slightly faster. Who knows? You'd have to time it to find out. Well, yeah, it's still a cool difference between those two animations, so you do have some options. Now, let's go see this thing in action, and we'll actually use the fully automatic one here, and of course, grab ourselves a wonderful Deathclaw that we're going to definitely have to cheese, I think, with the amount of damage on this thing. Die, Deathclaw! Oh boy, you know, we actually took out a good amount of his damage there right off the bat. Looks like it's only going to take 3 reloads for us there, unless, of course, I miss all the things. There we go, he is down. Beautiful. Now, that's actually the first time I fought a Deathclaw with this reflex sight on there, and I am just now realizing how much vision is taken away by the little bits on the side. It was kind of hard to see that guy there, but still a very interesting scope, but perhaps not the most useful now that I'm looking at it again. Let's grab another one, oh boy, and let's pull out the semi-automatic one for this. And oh, a little bit more visibility. Ooh, God, he just kind of teleported there a little bit. More visibility, but me just sucking at aiming in general. There we go. Down halfway, roughly. And now that he's back over there. There we go. Die, Deathclaw, die. Alright, just one more reload, and we should be able to get this guy. Perfect. Perfect. Probably took me a few more shots to take him down with this one because of just my inept aiming, but hey, good times, good times. But yeah, that's the AnotherOne YK42B Reborn mod. A just fun, wonderful energy weapon to play around with. I always do like seeing more energy weapons getting added into the game, and I always do love seeing more weapons being added in from previous entries in the franchise. So if you'd like to take a look at this gun for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you have a look at the link in the description, as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today. Hopefully you have enjoyed and you come back for the next one. Until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!